Hello, everyone. It's 6:50 a.m. and dude, I got too early today. Sorry about that. All right, it's 5/19/2021. For my second video of the day of the Spokane experience, the Spokesman review. Uh, Here on Twitter, uh, a week shy of the 1 year anniversary of the death of the piece of shit known as George Floyd during a Minneapolis police arrest that prompted protests all over the country. Governor Jay Inslee signed sweeping legislation Tuesday to reform law enforcement policies and oversight. So, if you watched yesterday's, or so I don't know what it was, let me. Jay Inslee, Jay Sleazy, just signed into legislation, a bill on cap and trade. Uh, Five environmental policies, uh, and in doing so, uh, he vetoed uh, things that made the bill possible. I mean, even Democrats over in Olympia are kind of pissed with him because basically what he did is vetoed anything the conservative side of what legislatures wanted. Those were the things that made the bill possible. And now the Democrats are going, oh, well, that's shitty because they're never going to trust us again. Um, Jay Sleazy has to go. I don't like Lauren Colt. That's why I'll probably run for governor again. We're starting early this time. Uh, he's so not only did he veto the everything that made that bill possible, uh, that the conservatives wanted, right? One-sided legislation. Um, he upset his own party in doing so, and it's cap and trade. And this is the irony of it. I went out. I spent part of this morning trying to research some things I was going to do about that spokesman review article about those bills, the five bills on cap and trade. And so when you're out there researching, I'll take you down this little path of how I do things and what I'll take as credible information and what I won't. When I know I'm being fucked with or I'm being just because something says documentary, in no way guarantees its validity. No way guarantees its authenticity, or that they're telling you the truth. Kind of like nonprofits. Oh, it's a nonprofit, so it's above reproach. It's above evil doing. They would never use a non-profit to embezzle money and steal yours. Fuck no. Okay, so let's stay on track here. 1 second as I cough. All right. Uh, the other day I coughed on everyone. I'm sorry. I'm trying to not do that anymore. So where was I? So now this, and I looked for a while, was about the only thing I could find on California cap and trade as far as studies have gone. So uh, I look for research and studies done by outside uh, the pros and cons, right? Uh, the pros of cap and trade by the people who voted for cap and trade are probably not what we want to base a whole lot of off of. All right. So I thought, well, there had to be some, uh, what would you call it? Uh, Adversarial or some sort of studies, that would be accentuating the problems, accentuating the failures more so than just, oh, it's just so great because nothing humans do. Oh, just so fucking great. But here's the Eric Weinstein. If you don't know who Eric Weinstein is, he is one of the founders of the IDW. If you don't know what the IDW is or was, It was called the intellectual dark web. Okay, Eric Weinstein is partnered with Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is a former owner of PayPal with Elon Musk. Pretty smart people in the financial world. Eric Weinstein, uh, I think he created Epstein. I think he works for the CIA. But what do I know? Eric Weinstein has put out something called the DISC, the Distributed Information Suppression Complex. All right? Pretty big fancy words, but basically what it means is the internet and information that they don't want you to see uh, is being systematically hidden from you or blocked from other people so that the information can get out there. It's called the DISC. Uh, when you try to look up cap and trade studies, let's go to Google, and cap uh, and trade, cap and trade definition, Washington State versus carbon tax. You know, all these things that, oh, well, pros and cons. I haven't seen that one before, but I just want to go results or outcome. That's a good one. So I did results, and this is the thing. Watch. So the results. So we're looking for studies because cap and trade went into effect in California in 2011. That's 10 years. There should be plenty of studies, not by news agencies, not by the California legislation, but by outside entities like Stanford, outside entities like Berkeley, or anyways. How cap and trade works. No, we don't want to know how it works because they're going to tell you how it works. That doesn't mean that is how it works. Center for Climate and Energy. I don't trust anything that says we're climate and energy because they're obviously pro cap and trade. They're obviously pro lowering CO2 emissions. I am not pro lower CO2 emissions. I'm not saying we shouldn't lower CO2 emissions, but the problem of climate isn't as much of a problem as we might first, as they've been leading on here. Okay, this is such a tricky subject. Let us go here, since I have your attention. It's called What to Do with $75 billion. Uh, see, I can't even find the book. What's his name? Bjorn. Bjorn. Environmentalist. Is that him? Embark. Okay, this is it. The skeptical environmentalist. That'll probably work. Uh, um, Measuring the Real State of the World. So this is a great book if you want to read about the areas and the things we should be doing to save our planet from possible toxation and human devastation. This is the book to read. CO2 is really low on the list of problems in the world, and the causation of possible global warming, which we're not actually warming. That's a anyway. So let me try to get back to Inslee. So when I go out here to try to find cap and trade, cap and trade is supposed to solve climate, but 2019. Here's a good one. Fine. Let's see. Cap and trade is supposed to solve climate change, but oil and gas companies' emissions are up. So, countries have called California's cap and trade program the answer to climate change. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's like, "Oh, this is the answer." It can't be. Why can't it be, Cameron? Well, because one, these programs almost never work in the manner they're designed to work. Just ask Carter or trickle down in economics, whether you believe that worked or not. It's funny how I can take a left-wing person and I can show them all the areas where government failed miserably in achieving the goals they set out to achieve. But then anything in their heart's desire that they want, well, that'll work though. Oh, but this will work, or that'll work great. It's a cognitive bias, or cognitive. Anyways, it's stupid. They're stupid. Uh, so here we go. So here's Governor Jerry Brown took the podium at July 2017 press conference to lingering applause after a steady stream of policies praised him for helping to extend California's signature climate policy for another decade. Brown, flanked by the U.S. and California flags, with the backdrop of the gleaming San Francisco Bay. They probably had to dodge all the poop on the ground from the homeless, but credit the hard work of the VIP seated in the crowd. It's people in the industry, and they're here. All right, I'll count Captain Trade Program and answer the existential crisis of climate change. It is not an existential crisis. We are not even close to it. California Captain Trade Program was one of the first in the world. Yes, we know this. Polluters can be regulations to force companies to curb their emissions. Polluters can be made to pay for every ton of CO2 they emit. But while the state's program has helped it to meet some initial, easily attained benchmarks, experts are increasingly worried that it is allowing California's biggest polluters to conduct business as usual and even increase their emissions. We analyze state data in a way the state doesn't often report to the public. Yes, see, that's really the point I'm trying to say, people. Me, as a concerned citizen, want to know I want to know the numbers of California's cap and trade policy since it's been around for 10 years. I want the raw data. I want the numbers because I'm a concerned citizen and I have trust issues. But once again, I was talking about Eric Weinstein's theory of DISC, the DISC theory, dispersed information suppression complex, something like that. I can't remember. They make it difficult so that they can make claims that are very hard to prove to be false. And they are false. Most of them are just propaganda. All right. So our news agencies here in town are part of that propaganda bullshit. The DISC. All right. Where was I? Oh, this dumb fucking double mask wearing Jay Sleazy. Sorry, he upsets me. George, the piece of shit Floyd. George Floyd was no noble savage. He was no one anyone should ever idolize as a model citizen or person of worth to admire. He was a lowlife. He was a career lowlife. He had never, ever done anything to try to get his life on track in a manner that didn't involve drugs. You have ugly women and things. The dude was a real, kind of like me, but black. I don't know. He died from fentanyl overdose. The whole scene that was caught on camera was a scene he created trying to hide the drugs because he got caught with counterfeit bills and he didn't want to go to jail again for his actions, which I understand all those feelings. I understand all. I think that shit's undignified. If you're caught, you're caught. Just, be accountable. Go, yeah, I did this. Do your time. Get out. Try to do better. But that's me. Floyd, no. Panicked. was a hustler, was a liar. He didn't want, so he thought he could create another scene. He's done that same thing before in the past. But this time, his drug dealer gave him some bad heroin. By that I mean laced with fentanyl, and it killed him. Why the fuck do we need to reform Spokane police because some piece of shit in Minneapolis or whatever overdosed on drugs while cops were beating him up? If I had $1 for all the fucking times I had a cop on my fucking neck, I'd have at least $10 and a pack of cigarettes. Here's why none of this is virtuous. People like me, people of families of autism, the pastor out in the valley who got shot by that fucking cop in his own parking lot, the parents of the teenage boy who got hit by a sheriff or a valley cop while riding his bike when the cop was doing 75 miles an hour at night without his lights on. Why does it take some piece of shit in Minneapolis for us to change our laws about how our cops police us? It shouldn't. It doesn't. What does it tell you? That nothing's going to happen. That this is all pompous bullshit. The news knows it, but the news are in on it. Crime 2, Tom Sherry, all these fuckers. They don't live down here where the George Floyds might be getting arrested. Jay Inslee, he doesn't hang out in the Seattle slums where these cops are going to be doing what they're doing. And so it doesn't fucking matter what new bill or law they post in there, what the cops are doing on the streets or what the cops doing on the streets. And because these fucking rich bitch legislatures and governors and city mayors and council members are never down there, who's going to enforce these new laws on the enforcers of laws? Pardon me. 1 second. I'm not even trying to dog our local police. Like I said, in the encounters I've had with them the last few times, because apparently, I do things that cops want to talk to me about a lot. Still, even no matter how hard I try, I tend to, I have a close working relationship with the Spokane police. No, I don't. Anyways, I've got a lot of reasons to think that this new generation of millennials, all the reasons we were making fun of them for being so gentle and so bisexual and all those weird things that most of them are, might actually create through osmosis, not through bills or laws, but through a kinder generation, better police. Okay, so I'm not even trying to trash on our police, but you fucking dumb voters and people who are watching the Creme 2 News, reading the Spokane Review, see this and go, "Oh, Jay Inslee, he's changing the world." No, he's not. He's just making you rich yuppies who never have to be in the George Floyd situations think that they passed some laws, so that shit's not going on anymore, when it is. And that's the problem. That's why our society's crumbling. When the news upholds demagogues, and demagogues do what demagogues do. If you don't know what a demagogue is, you shouldn't be voting. You shouldn't be voting if you don't know what a demagogue is. Yeah. So, anyways, that's my second video for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Resist COVID thinking, cancel culture, and don't defund the police. Reform. This isn't reform. It's the unions, dummy. It's the fucking unions. Have a good day. Woo!